G'day ladies and gentlemen, the Buttsman here, hope you're doing not bad. This video is all about Australian sport and the deep spiral that it's heading in at this very point in time. For those of you who don't know, I am a big rugby league fan. I've played it my entire life and I have always been around it. But there's one thing that the Australian media does that fucking does my head in when it comes to not only rugby league but Australian sport in general. They do not allow Australian sportsmen to have a personality anymore, and it's fucking atrocious, and it will ruin the game of rugby league and rugby union and AFL and cricket and any other sport that anyone gives a shit about in this country. What they do is they demonise players anytime they slightly say something that's just fucking comical. So take for example what happened this week and the reason I'm making this video. There's a dude called Toby Rudolph that plays for the Sharks. I don't know, I guess he plays in the forwards. Who gives a shit? That's not what this is about. The National Rugby League, the boss, Andrew Abdo, came out and he said, this bloke's comments, well, he didn't say this bloke, he should though, this bloke's comments were offensive and derogatory. He sent an official warning to this particular Sharks player and the club. We want fan interaction. The Players Association came out and defended him, which is great. It was light-hearted humour. The NRL's decision to issue a warning polarised fans, some believing it was heavy-handed. Everyone thought it was heavy-fucking-handed. Peter V'landys came out, the Australian chairman of the Australian Rugby League Commission, came out and said, basically, this is not okay to be saying this, it's not an appropriate joke. Our thing is, and we will not move from it, you have to respect women, and this is just not respectful. Okay, it's about time we looked at what was actually said. I was tagged in this by so many of my mates that I think it's appropriate to look at it. It comes from the Matty Johns show on Monday night. Now this was recorded moments after the T. Rudolph stopped playing rugby league. Okay, now if you ever played, well, it doesn't matter what sport you're playing. Any sport you're playing, or even when you're at the gym. You know, you're pumping iron, you're lifting steel, you've fucking got some endorphins running through your body. Maybe you're not thinking as clearly as you should as a professional. But regardless, he said this.
Now listen, you're a bit of an old-fashioned player. What's on the cards for T. Rudolph tonight?
Probably about 1,000 beers. Want to go to Northies, try and pull something. Anything will do. Nah, look, honestly, it's all about recovery these days.
T. Rudolph has said this with a giant smile on his face. He's making a joke. He's saying he's going to Northies, which is, I think it's a nightclub or it's a club or whatever, on the southern beaches of Sydney. He's making a joke that he's going to go there and pull anything. Anything will do. He'll take what he can get. That is not being disrespectful to women. He's joking. It's not real. It's make-believe. It's something that dudes say to each other off the cuff as a joke to fucking make people laugh, which it has. It's made Fletch laugh. It's made Matty Johns laugh in the background. It made me laugh. I thought it was fucking hilarious. And good fucking on him for going out there and making a joke. Like, you don't see players do that anymore. Rugby league players are fucking boring. They are so fucking boring, alright? I'm sorry, but they are. And that is not their fault. It is the fault of the National Rugby League, the NRL, and the Australian Rugby League, because they put these ridiculous, they castrate these dudes. They don't let them fucking be themselves, and that sucks. They ban the fighting, they ban the shoulder charge. You can't speak out of turn. That's why you hear these dudes speak like they're reading out of a fucking handbook. Oh, full credit to the boys, yada, yada, yada. They can't speak their mind because they're terrified of the repercussions. But it wasn't always that way. Thank fuck.
Welcome back. Kiwi Test forward Brent Todd will sport new club colours in 1992. He'll trade the Canberra jersey that he's worn in 3 grand finals for that of the Wooden Spooners, the Gold Coast Seagulls. It's been the worst kept secret on the Gold Coast, but this is the signature that Wally Lewis and Larry Maloney have been waiting to add to that of State of Origin prop forward Steve Jackson's.
I was always going to come here no matter what. I made the decision way before the grand final. Well, mainly the Gold Coast is because the Shields are good looking and I want to fuck them all.
Brent Todd, a national hero, some would say, because the Sheilas are hot and he wants to fuck them all. Now, is that an inappropriate thing to say? Perhaps at your contract signing, but the contract is signed, so maybe that's not too bad. But really, you look at his face when he says it, he knows he's saying something fucked up. He's not saying it because he's a misogynist. He's not saying it because, I don't know, he might be, who fucking knows. He's not saying it because he's an arsehole. He also may be, who fucking knows. But like when I tell a joke on stage that I know is fucked up, I don't say it because it's racist or sexist or homophobic. I say it because it's fucked up. That's exactly what he's saying there. And old T. Rudolph, I keep saying T. Rudolph because I'm not sure if his name's Tony or Toby or fucking who knows. Probably should have read the fucking article. But the reason I'm saying all this is because all he was saying was a little bit of a joke. The fact of the matter remains that Australian Rugby League players, Australian AFL players, Australian soccer players, well, no one really listens to those people, but anyway, Australian cricket players, they are not allowed to have personalities. And if they can't have jokes, then who gives a fuck about them? Who gives a fuck about any of them? No one cares. And this is why you see dwindling numbers of people who go to games, because they don't give a shit anymore. That's why you see organisations like the UFC skyrocketing with numbers, because people care about the fighters. Sure, they want to watch the art form and all that shit, but they care about the fighters. They care about their personalities. And I think if the Australian Rugby League, the NRL, the AFL, all these people actually allowed players to be themselves and make mistakes, tell stupid jokes, all that type of shit without issuing warnings, like they're their fucking parents, locking them in their room, go to your room, go to the naughty corner, all that shit, then you'd get a better sport. Anyway, who gives a fuck, right? Ladies and gentlemen, be a good motherfucker. Make sure you press subscribe. We just hit 50,000 subscribers. Holy shit. Be a good motherfucker. Peace and be less bit extinct. Toodaloo. Bye-bye.